All right, Game Pass releases coming pretty soon. Wu Chang is the one that's on my radar. If you play Farming Simulator, it's here. If you play Wheel World, it's here. If you want to play Abiotic Factor, I guess, it's here. If you play Grounded, the preview, it's here. But one that really does strike me is Robocop, the, Rogue City game. I already got that one on Steam. I think it was on sale just recently for $5. Previously, it was on sale for $10. I got it at the $9.99 price point. That's fine with me. I haven't beaten the game yet, and I've already gotten my money's worth. So if you're probably thinking about this game, I'd say, this is one of those areas where you're probably going to find yourself thinking of buying the game. Now, if you play it on Game Pass, then, you probably may not want to do that after going ahead to play the game a little bit. But it was a fun game. I really did. And, well, I said it was. It still is because I'm still playing it. A fun game. And I've been, enjoying it intermittently whenever I get to play it. The only downside was trying to get some settings on my Rogue Ally X. Didn't really. The game is kind of demanding. I mean, the developers have some work to do in terms of optimization. But again, Donkey Kong Bonanza has frame drops, and the developers, according to them, prioritized fun and enjoyment. So if you came to play for fun and enjoyment, you should enjoy that. There's no problem with it. But I wanted to highlight something that I think is very important right now in the gaming space. And, if you remember all the talk about Game Pass that just went by last, week or so, it's interesting that the developer who everybody wanted to latch onto was one who launched his game on Game Pass, gave his game on Amazon Prime Gaming for free later on down the road, and, eventually came out here to start whining and complaining. Whereas these cats over here at the studio that's developed, the Robocop game, are doing work. Already they got DLC coming within a year, I think. And I think this cadence is something that a lot of developers need to latch onto. People take the Game Pass bag. I don't know what they do with it. But to me, that is your ticket to continue to push your IP. That's your ticket to continue to market your IP and ensure that your game is going to continue with longevity. Because a lot of people, somewhat underestimate long tail sales. And long tail sales are those kinds of sales that continue to, push through. And then by the time everybody wakes up a few years later, you don't sold 30 million units of your game. Or like in the case of Days Gone, even though, there's a lot of talk about the game, how, PlayStation did not greenlight the second game and all that stuff. But the game ended up going, and some people said it was a buggy mess at launch. I mean, there are all these reports, right? But the game has gone ahead after its PC port and everything to sell over 7 million units. Then they still added a horde mode later because the game is still churning in cash. I don't know how a lot of people can underestimate small chunks of money. Maybe this is why financial literacy is actually important these days. And, more than anything else, there are educators that are pushing to teach it, because a lot of people see $1, they see $5, they estimate it as small amounts of money. But those guys that are selling Robocop, right now, they've sold it at its launch price around $30 or $40 or so. Then they sold it at discounted prices, maybe, a little bit more after the game, launched. Then they sold it at $10, making it appealing enough for me to buy it. Then they've sold it for $5 during the Steam sale, making it even more appealing. And the game has gone play anywhere. These guys want to sell their game. They are not messing around with all of this nonsense that is going on around here. This, to me, is a developer that actually, in my opinion, has some sense. Now, let me go ahead and make sure, because there's a screenshot that I'm seeing here, and I want to make sure that it's actually Play Anywhere on here, because, oh, look at that. The game is $60. Well, that's because the sales are gone. But, if you want to pay $60 for it, support the devs, whatever. Or if you want to pay $5 for it, ain't nothing wrong with that either. You're supporting the devs, just supporting them at 6% of what it is, or 7% of what it is that they're asking. Xbox Play Anywhere is the, emblem on here. So those of you who like your Play Anywhere games, well, there you go. You can probably get your hands on it. Let me see if they have it on the Xbox app. Because all the dilly-dallying and the waste of breath that I'm seeing coming from developers is shocking to me. Instead of them to basically go out there and enjoy, the process of selling their game, they're it's not on the Xbox app yet, but it's listed on the Xbox store page, so you can't find it on the Xbox app. just yet. But I'm sure if you probably went ahead and bought it right now, you go ahead and see it on the Xbox app, once it's there, or maybe immediately. I don't know. But this really brings that question to mind where you're looking at, long-term sales. And before you know, these guys are going to wake up and say, oh, yeah, our game just sold 4 million copies. Now, yes, you didn't sell all 4 million copies at $60, but you sold 4 million copies and you continue to sell. Even if you sold 1 million at the launch price of about $40. I don't know why it's showing $60. Did this thing launch at $60 on Steam and console? Hold on. It's still $5 on Steam? Crikey. My goodness. Y'all take a look at this. It's still $5 on Steam. Offer ends July 21st. Man, they are going hard, and they already have a DLC coming. Man, I don't think I have the time to finish the game and then to jump into the unfinished business DLC. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to take my time, man. I don't think I can. I don't think I can, complete all of this. And plus, Jedi Survivor is now playing at like 100 FPS, and I want to play that game. Let me download it on this device. I was playing it yesterday. It was pretty neat, man. One thing about those games, you got to be able to play them at least 60 FPS because you're parrying and everything, and you don't want anybody, any stupid frame drops to mess with you. But I'm of the mind that when it's all said and done, you are responsible for the success of your game. It doesn't matter what, anybody says. If the market doesn't, work in your favor, or if there are other competitive games, you are still responsible. It's nobody's business. I think a lot of developers have just gotten so used to blaming everything on, or creatives have gotten so used to blaming everything on everybody that, when it comes time to actually sit down and take responsibility or take ownership of their own games, they start to run all over the place and, blame all these other things. No. Leadership is not easy, and I'm very surprised that for the longest time people have entertained this frame of mind, like, oh yeah, it's just because the Game Pass, that's all a bunch of hokey pokey bogus nonsense. In reality, if these people really truly believed that their games were the stuff of legend, then we wouldn't be having these conversations. We would be in a position where, people actually, take ownership for their games. They actually do what they say. They actually do what they say they want to do in terms of, oh yeah, this is our game. We're going to stick with it. We're going to market it. I mean, look at Cyberpunk 2077. Dude, I can keep showing you all examples after examples after examples. The developers constantly, I think it was Tom Warren. Let me just show you here on Twitter. Where is it at? Tom Warren just put out let me go to my bookmarks. I bookmarked it. I usually bookmark my stories. He said, there it is. No. Where is it? Oh, crud. I got to find his Twitter page. He was like, NVIDIA loves Cyberpunk. NVIDIA loves Cyberpunk 2077. And I was like, what is this? And then it's like all the GPUs. There it is. NVIDIA loves Cyberpunk 2077, 2020 to present. These are all the Cyberpunk 2077 branded GPUs. Guys, this is how CD Projekt Red sold 30 million copies of their games. They did not shut up about their game. Do y'all understand? That is marketing. Persistent marketing. Forever marketing. Where this game, the next 60 series, they're going to be like, oh yeah, let's go back and test Cyberpunk 2077. They're not going to shut up about it because these guys understand exactly where to position themselves to put their game out there. Talk to me in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate your time and audience. Peace out.